In the peaceful town of Oakwood Hills, a series of chilling murders rocked the community, leaving residents terrified and baffled. The victims, all adults, were found brutally slain, their bodies mutilated with a precision that defied explanation. Detective Sarah Park was assigned to the case, a young and promising investigator known for her sharp mind and keen instincts. As she delved into the investigation, she discovered a disturbing pattern. All the victims had one thing in common. They had all crossed paths with a troubled child named Alex. Alex was a quiet and withdrawn boy, often bullied at school and ignored by his parents. He was known for his fascination with death and his morbid drawings, which depicted scenes of violence and murder. Despite his age, Detective Park couldn't ignore the mounting evidence against Alex. She decided to approach him with empathy and understanding, hoping to uncover the truth behind the murders. When she spoke to Alex, he opened up to her, revealing a heartbreaking story of neglect and abuse. He told her that he had been tormented by visions of the victims, their faces twisted in agony as they begged for justice. As the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, Detective Park realized the truth. Alex had been driven to madness by the horrors he had witnessed and the pain he had endured. The town grappled with the chilling realization that the true monster had been living among them all along. But it was a monster born out of tragedy and despair. And for Detective Park, the case served as a grim reminder of the darkness that could consume even the most innocent of souls, and the importance of compassion and understanding in the face of unimaginable evil. In the quiet town of Ravenwood, a series of arson attacks terrorized the community, leaving behind a trail of destruction and death. Detective James Reynolds, a respected police officer known for his dedication to justice, was assigned to the case. Little did the town know one behind the arson attacks, a psychopath who reveled in the chaos and destruction he caused. As the fires continued to ravage Ravenwood, Detective Reynolds played the part of the concerned officer, leading the investigation and offering his assistance. However, as the investigation progressed, a series of cryptic messages left at the arson sites began to reveal a different story. The messages hinted at a secret society within the police force, one that was orchestrating the attacks for their own twisted reasons. As Detective Reynolds dug deeper, he discovered that the true mastermind behind the arson attacks was none other than his own partner, Detective Sarah Parker. Sarah had long harbored a deep-seated resentment towards the town and its residents, blaming them for her own personal failures and hardships. Shocked and betrayed, Detective Reynolds confronted Sarah, leading to a tense standoff. Sarah admitted to the crimes, reveling in the chaos and destruction she had caused. She saw the arson attacks as a way to cleanse Ravenwood of its perceived sins, a twisted act of vengeance against the town that she felt had wronged her. In a final, desperate act, Sarah set fire to the building where they stood, hoping to destroy all evidence of her involvement. However, Detective Reynolds managed to subdue her and escape, leaving Sarah to perish in the flames she had ignited. The town of Ravenwood was left reeling from the revelation, shocked that one of their own could be capable of such heinous acts. Detective Reynolds, haunted by the knowledge of what his partner had done, vowed to continue fighting for justice, determined to ensure that Sarah's dark legacy would never be forgotten. In the quiet town of Oakwood Hills, the Church of Eternal Light stood as a beacon of hope and faith for its members. Led by the charismatic Reverend Jacobson, the church was known for its community outreach programs and charitable work. However, behind the facade of piety and goodwill, a dark secret lurked. Detective Emma Rivera, a dedicated investigator with a keen eye for detail, was assigned to investigate reports of missing persons linked to the church. To gather evidence discreetly, Detective Rivera decided to go undercover, posing as a new member, seeking spiritual guidance. As Detective Rivera immersed herself in the church's activities, she witnessed firsthand the charismatic allure of Reverend Jacobson and the devotion of his followers. She attended services, participated in group activities, and even volunteered for various church projects, all while discreetly gathering information. It wasn't long before Detective Rivera began to uncover the cult-like nature of the church. Nice. She discovered that new members were subjected to intense indoctrination sessions, where they were pressured to confess their deepest fears and desires. Those who resisted were singled out and ostracized by the group. As Detective Rivera delved deeper, she discovered that the missing women had all undergone these indoctrination sessions before disappearing. She realized that Reverend Jacobson was using these sessions to manipulate and control his followers, possibly even orchestrating their disappearances himself. In a daring move, Detective Rivera confronted Reverend Jacobson during one of these sessions, revealing her true identity. The charismatic facade of the Reverend crumbled, and he attempted to flee, but Detective Rivera and her team were ready. They apprehended Reverend Jacobson and exposed the true nature of the Church of Eternal Light to the world. The town of Oakwood Hills was shocked by the revelations, but grateful for Detective Rivera's bravery and dedication. The cult was dismantled, and the missing women were found, though scarred by their ordeal. Detective Rivera's undercover operation had brought light to the darkness that had shrouded the town for so long.